Today I'm going to try to make my sourdough bread more sour by using a lower inoculation. It's going to be part of a series of videos where I explore sour sourdough bread. Hi, I'm Sourdough and I'm a food geek. Today I'm starting a new series, the quest for tangy and sour sourdough bread. I know a lot of people crave that really mouth-watering sour or tang that you can get in a sourdough bread. But it can be a struggle. How do you get it to be sour? And what are the factors? Well, there's many things that can change the flavor of your bread, and I'm going to go through them all and see which of them are the most effective. It seems like two key factors are time and inoculation. Other factors are starter hydration and flour choice. I guess a way of simulating sour sourdough would be to add acidic ingredients like dairy or vinegar. I know some people find that to be cheating, but isn't it just another ingredient? There are two types of acid involved in making sourdough bread. One is lactic acid, which gives your bread a tangy note. The other one is acetic acid, which gives your bread a sour note. Lactobacilli thrives at around 30 degrees Celsius, 86 degrees Fahrenheit, whereas the production of acetic acid is optimal at around 20 degrees Celsius, 68 degrees Fahrenheit. Today, I will be varying the inoculation with a well-fed starter so that each bread will ferment for a longer period of time. I will be doing this in my proofer set to 30 degrees Celsius, 86 degrees Fahrenheit, which is supposed to promote a lactic acid and will give a tang to the bread. If you're new to this channel, I bake a lot of sourdough bread and I make delicious food from all over the world. My goal is to show you how to get the most out of every ingredient, and I want to teach you how to do that in simple and understandable steps. So join me by subscribing and ringing the bell so you won't miss any future videos. The composition of the bread is the one that I usually use when I bake my experiments. 80% bread flour, 20% rye flour, 80% hydration, and 2% salt. What I'm going to vary in this experiment is the inoculation. So I will go for 20% as my control, 10% and then 5%. The 5% will ferment much slower than the 20%, which in theory means that it should produce more lactic acid. It's going to be interesting. This episode is sponsored by my Patreons. A big thank you to all of those people who support me so I can do this every week. Right now, I'm running a special on a 1-year membership with 2 months for free. It runs out November 1st. If you're interested, follow the link above. Thank you. Those were the words. This is the experiment. This is an experiment, not a recipe. You can follow the links in the description for the formulas that I used to make the bread if you're interested in trying to replicate the experiment or the bread. First, I mix all the ingredients for each dough. First, the dough with 5% inoculation. Then the dough with 10% inoculation. And then the bread with 20% inoculation. Then I let them rest covered on the counter for an hour. Then I proceed to do the first set of stretch and folds. and I let them rest for 30 minutes. Then the second set of stretch and folds. And let them rest for 30 minutes. Then the third set of stretch and folds. All the doughs look developed, so I put them in bulking containers and place them in my proofer set to 30 degrees Celsius, 86 degrees Fahrenheit. Not surprisingly, the one with 20% is done first, as you can see here. I pre-shape the dough. And then I final shape it.
Now give me the beat.
And then I place it in the fridge. About an hour later, 10% has finished fermentation. So I pre-shape it and final shape it. I lost the final shape footage, but it didn't look any different than the first one. Then 1.5 hours later, it seems like I may have overproofed the 5%. I pre-shape it. And then I final shape it. I let them all rest for 24 hours in a very cold fridge, and then I proceed to bake. First, the 20%, which was put in the fridge first. I flip it. I score it. And I bake it. After 20 minutes, under the lid, I reveal it. Oh, nice spring. When the bread is ready, I take it out. And then it's time for the 10%. 5%. Uh-oh, not so good. Well, we'll see if some steam can help this overproofed bread. If anything, it'll have more flavor. A bit on the flat and not very springy side. Let's cut these breads and see what they reveal. Nice color and spring. And a nice and open crumb. This one looks great too. The crumb looks about the same as the first one. Oh, it's not too flat, but no ear. The crumb is a bit more closed, but it still looks good. And let's look at them all at the same time. And now it's time for the all-important sniff and taste test. Smells exactly like I'm used to. So, honestly, this is not a whole lot different. Oh, this has got a little bit more bite. Let's taste them. It's good. It's the control, so I know what it's supposed to taste like. Oh, this one tastes exactly the same as the control. Weird. The 5% is definitely more tangy, but it's not overpowering in any way. Well, that was not as expected. I was hoping for much more effect. If you have any idea how to get a lot more lactic acid in your bread, please put them in the comments. Should I have gone for an even lower inoculation? I would have thought that I would have had a much longer fermentation with 5%. Maybe I should try 1%. What do you think? I hope you learned something today. See you next time.